Thinking about dropping 60 grand on a new truck? Make the wrong choice, and you'll be kicking yourself for the next 10 years. And right now, in 2025, the showdown between GMC and Ford is more heated than ever. Look, I've spent the last 3 months buried in everything these two brands are throwing at us this year. I'm talking specs, real-world tests, owner complaints, hidden costs, the whole 9 yards. And what I found is going to surprise you, because the truck that looks best on paper isn't always the one you should park in your driveway. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which truck fits your life, which one holds its value, and most importantly, which one won't leave you stranded. So here's the problem every truck buyer faces. GMC and Ford both build incredible machines. They have die-hard fans who will defend their choice to the bitter end, but they also both have serious flaws that the marketing teams conveniently forget to mention. And this isn't just about which truck looks cooler or has a few extra horsepower. We're talking about real money. The difference in ownership costs over 5 years, factoring in maintenance, fuel, resale value, and surprise repairs, can easily hit $10,000 or more. The worst part? Most people just buy what their dad drove or what their buddy recommended. That's a terrible strategy when you're spending this kind of cash. Let's start with what GMC is bringing to the table in 2025. Their big player is the Sierra, and they've made some serious updates you need to know about. The base engine in the Sierra 1500 is now a 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder. Now, before you laugh at a 4-banger in a full-size truck, this thing puts out 310 horsepower and a hefty 430 pound-feet of torque. That's more torquey than many V8s from just a decade ago. And it delivers that power low in the rev range, which is exactly where you want it for truck stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. GMC knows a 4-cylinder doesn't sound tough, so they've actually engineered the exhaust note to sound surprisingly good. They've also tuned the transmission to be more aggressive than Ford's, making the truck feel quicker off the line, even when the numbers are similar. The optional engines are where GMC really tries to pull ahead. You can get a 5.3-liter V8 making 355 horsepower, a beefy 6.2-liter V8 cranking out 420 horsepower, or the 3.0-liter Duramax diesel. That diesel gives you 305 horsepower, but a massive 495 pound-feet of torque. And that diesel option is something Ford simply can't match in the F-150 anymore. They dropped their diesel, so if you need maximum towing range with the best possible fuel economy, GMC has a clear advantage right there. The Sierra's max towing capacity is a respectable 13,300 pounds when it's properly equipped with the 6.2-liter V8. For payload, you're looking at up to 2,280 pounds in the bed. Now let's talk about the inside, because this is where GMC really tries to justify that premium price tag. A well-equipped Sierra starts around $50,000, but most buyers are looking at the SLT or Denali trims, which will push you into the $60,000 to $80,000 range. So what do you get for all that money? The Denali is dripping in leather with a huge 13.4-inch touchscreen, a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, a head-up display, and a 12-speaker Bose sound system. The seats are genuinely comfortable with heating, cooling, and even massage functions. GMC also has its famous multi-pro tailgate, which has 6 different positions. You can use it as a step, a desk, a load stop, or even a standing workstation. Is it a bit gimmicky? Maybe. But if you're constantly loading and unloading stuff, it's actually pretty useful. The tech is all there too. Adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and a surround view camera system that is an absolute lifesaver. Trying to park a 20-foot truck in a crowded lot is stressful, and being able to see everything around you makes a huge difference. One small thing GMC does better than Ford is the interior lighting. You get ambient lighting in about 15 different colors, and while that might sound silly, it really does make the cabin feel more premium at night. But here's the secret about GMC that nobody really talks about. It's basically a fancy Chevy. The Sierra and the Silverado share the same platform, the same engines, the same transmissions, and most of the same parts. You're paying a premium for the GMC badge, the different styling, and the nicer interior materials. Is that worth it? That's up to you. Some people want their truck to feel special, and the GMC Denali definitely delivers that. Others would rather save 5 or 10 grand and get essentially the same truck with a Chevy bow tie on the front. Now for the messy part, reliability. GMC has had some documented issues over the last few years. The 5.3-liter V8 has been known for problems with excessive oil consumption. Some owners report burning through a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, which is just crazy for a modern engine. The 8-speed automatic transmission has also been criticized for hard shifts and shuddering, especially in the 2019 to 2022 models. GMC has released software updates to fix this, but some owners claim the problem eventually comes back. The good news is that the 2025 models seem to have addressed many of these concerns. The transmissions are smoother, and the engines are reportedly more reliable. Still, GMC continues to rank below average in most reliability surveys. Their warranty is standard: 3 years or 36,000 miles bumper to bumper, and 5 years or 60,000 miles on the powertrain. That's the same as Ford, so no advantage for either side there. Fuel economy on the Sierra is decent for a truck this size. The 2.7-liter turbo gets about 20 mpg in the city and 23 on the highway. The 5.3 V8 drops to 16 city, 20 highway. But the diesel is the real star, achieving an impressive 23 city and 30 highway, numbers that are genuinely fantastic for a full-size truck. Now let's switch gears and talk about the king, the Ford F-150. This truck has been the best-selling vehicle in America for over 40 years. Not just the best-selling truck, the best-selling vehicle. That's mind-boggling. Ford knows they have a winning formula, so they focus on refining what works and adding tech to stay ahead of the curve. The base engine in the 2025 F-150 is a 3.3-liter V6 with 290 horsepower. Honestly, unless you're buying a bare-bones work truck, you're probably skipping this one. Most buyers upgrade, and Ford gives you a ton of options. There's a 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 with 325 horsepower, a classic 5.0-liter V8 with 400 horsepower, a powerful 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 that churns out 500 pound-feet of torque, and then there's the game changer, the 3.5-liter PowerBoost hybrid. This beast makes 430 horsepower and a ridiculous 570 pound-feet of torque. That hybrid option is something GMC just can't counter. The PowerBoost system combines the 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine with an electric motor. The result is insane low-end torque, better fuel economy than any non-diesel GMC, and a built-in generator that can literally power your house during a blackout. Seriously, the Pro Power onboard system can pump out up to 7.2 kilowatts of power from outlets in the bed. That's enough to run a construction site or keep your essentials going for days during a power outage. If you live somewhere with an unreliable grid, this feature alone could make the Ford the obvious choice. The F-150's max towing capacity is an enormous 14,000 pounds with the right setup. That's 700 pounds more than the GMC. Payload capacity is also higher at up to 2,145 pounds. So on paper, in terms of raw capability, Ford has the edge. But as we know, numbers don't tell the whole story. The F-150's interior has come a long way in the last few years. Thanks for watching. If this helped you get closer to a decision, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the cars and trucks you care about. See you in the next one.